What is going on, YouTube Nation? This is Darth Dividend. If you guys are new to my YouTube channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future videos. Big debate. You guys have asked me which stock is better, Philip Morris versus Altria. I did recently purchase Altria, but this is a big rivalry between companies. So you need to know which stock is better if you're a dividend investor or if you're an investor. Which one has a better dividend? I'll do the stock analysis. I'll go over a little bit financially how they're doing, and I'll show you my future plans with both of these stocks. These are both really good stocks. I will show you my plans and what I plan on doing with both of these stocks, but this is a huge debate. This is something big that people need to understand is why us dividend investors or why us investors invest in Philip Morris or Altria, or some people do both. So I'll tell you, my future plans with them. It's really interesting. I did a stock and dividend analysis on these guys and looked at it, and you guys requested me to do this, and honestly, I was very interested in doing this, and since I'm done with my midterm and biostats, and I'll go right back to my pathophysiology after this, start studying. But Altria and Philip Morris, these stocks, the big things is with cigarettes, and people unfortunately don't care. I mean, I'm a registered nurse. I've worked on cardiac step down floors, ICUs. You just see people out in public. People smoke. People don't care. People smoke. Go to a gas station. You see people buying packs like crazy. So I even one time went for a job interview. This is when hospitals had a hiring freeze back in 2014, and I was at a skilled rehab facility. I saw a patient outside smoking out of their trach. People don't care. And you know what? They'll get sick, they'll get pneumonia, they'll get COPD. They don't care. People still have end stage COPD, they'll still smoke. Unfortunately, people have fibrosis in their lungs and they'll still smoke. People just don't care. I mean, it's a decision to make. I know nicotine's very addicting, but it's sad for me to even say this, but people don't care. They're saying one in three in 2050 is going to have type 2 diabetes, and 1 in 3 is going to be obese. And smoking, I mean, I just went out to celebrate after, first of all, the Browns won. And the other thing was, I didn't want to overstimulate myself or overwork or anything like that. I just got done with an exam. I was listening to some of my lectures, and I'm like, I can't do this. I am exhausted, from putting all that time and effort in. So what do? I walk downtown where I live, grabbed a beer, ran into some people that are kind of regulars at a bar, and we always chat sports and stuff. And what do you see? I saw, people were socially distancing. I will say that, but I can't even tell you how many people my age, younger and older, were smoking cigarettes outside. I mean, that is just, I smoke a cigar here and there. I mean, don't get me wrong, but I don't want to smell like an ashtray, so I take a shower right away so I don't smell like it. I just don't want to smell it, period, on me when I'm around people. And it is crazy how many people smoke cigarettes. I cannot fathom. I still don't understand. It doesn't matter how much they're educated. It doesn't matter how much they get a lecture from their physicians or nurse practitioners or anybody in healthcare. It doesn't matter if they go to cardiopulmonary rehab, they're still smoking. It's sad to say this, but people smoke and they don't care. So that's what I'm going to address with these two stocks. People don't care. That's one of the reasons why I put money into Altria, and Philip Morris is a big juggernaut too. So this is why I made this video, but people just don't care. And these are two very, very popular stocks, very hot stocks. These are ones that you need to look at, and this is why I did a stock and dividend analysis video, and let's go. Let's look at the trends financially of Philip Morris real quick. We're going to start financially and see how these guys are doing. So Numbers, okay, numbers have in 2019, it was up and then it went down and then it went down. Okay, so let's just say it doesn't look too bad financially. Let's look annually how it's doing. 12/31/2019, the numbers went up. So the recession is here, okay? And cost of revenue doesn't seem too bad. The financially, it looks like it's okay. The big thing with Philip Morris, if you're looking at this data, see numbers up. Now, again, um, I'll compare both stocks and show you how they've done. But unfortunately, comparing both stocks, they have not done well against the S&P, so I'm not going to even post that video. But I will compare the stocks and show you how they've done against each other. So the revenue, it looks pretty stable to me, 26 to 28 to 29. It's going up, okay? Altria, let's look at these guys financially. Okay, numbers are going up, going up, going up. Now we'll see how they do, this year, but so far the money is going up. So again, it doesn't matter how much you raise the taxes on cigarettes, people are still going to smoke. I mean, it's disgusting, but it's not my preference to be, dating a girl that smokes, but I kind of avoid people that are smokers, but people in healthcare smoke. I don't understand it. But let's look at Altria as a stock real quick. So right now it is at $40.44. The beta is 55, 0.55. The dividend yield is 8.45%, which is very attractive. Listed as an overvalued stock on yahoo.com. And we're going to look at Philip Morris real quick. Philip Morris, the beta is 0.81. The earnings date is October 20th, 2020. The dividend yield is 6.09%. So look at this high yield, okay? Think about this. When you see high yield stocks, if it's above 5%, you need to really do some digging. When I look at stocks, okay, that are higher than 5%, and I do invest in stocks that are higher than 5%, I look at, are they in demand, okay? Sometimes they usually don't do well against the S&P, but I do look at their trends and how they do against the S&P. Are they in demand? So some things by Philip Morris and Altria are in demand. So that's one big plus. People don't care. They're going to smoke. Just go to a gas station. Look at people, when you're pumping your gas and you're done, look at people walking out with cigarettes. Or go in there if you have to buy an energy drink or something. You'll see people buying cigarettes. Philip Morris, I think Marlboro is a big one that they have. And that's the thing that's interesting, with these stocks. Vaping is still popular. There was a freak out about vaping and people getting damaged, but kids don't care. They're going to vape anyways. So here's the thing. The dividend yield is high in both of these. These stocks are in demand. Okay. They are cheap right now. So those are two things going for them. Okay. Now the price per share is $40.45 with Altria. Philip Morris is $79.32. Now it comes down to a money issue. Do we have the money for these two stocks? So you gotta, that raises some question marks on what you're gonna do. And now let's go to see how they've done against each other. Tell these guys are rivals. First stock that it says to compare is Philip Morris. So look, here's the history of Altria. Okay, Altria's in the blue and it's gone down for the past day. But let's look at the max in the history. Altria has really done well against Philip Morris. Philip Morris has barely jumped up at all. Okay, so Altria since inception has jumped up. Let's just compare Altria to the S&P. So Altria has grown a lot. It looks like it's going down a little bit compared to Philip Morris, though. It's above Philip Morris, 9,000% to 54.48%. So that's pretty good, if you ask me. We're going to compare now the S&P. Sure, since inception, the Altria has beaten the S&P. It's slowly going down. Okay, Altria is way up there, but past 5 years, I see when I compare stocks, I like to compare 5 years, the beginning since inception, 5 years, 1 year. So you should compare a lot of years to stocks. So, eventually, I think the S&P will beat. It could beat Altria, but Altria is way up there since versus the S&P since inception. So I correct myself. The Altria has done well against the S&P. Now Philip Morris has not done well against the S&P. So I'll just show you that right now. So right here, I mean, the S&P has killed Philip Morris, but what is your goal in the long term if you're an investor? You want the Benjamins, you want the dividends. That's what's nice. So these guys are down a little bit. Look at the S&P has just killed Philip Morris. But let's look at the dividend history between Philip Morris and Altria. This is what makes things interesting. Whoa, 0.85, 85 cents, 94, $1. So it's up to $1.20 right now. $4.08 for an annual dividend. Dividend yield 6.07%. That's pretty attractive. And even more, Philip Morris on their website, which we will jump up to. So on their website, they said they have increased their annual dividend every year since becoming a public company in 2008, representing a total increase of 160.9% of compound annual growth rate of 8.3%. So I'm going to conclude, okay? I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do real quick. So it has increased, okay? It is lost against the S&P. It is lost against Altria if you compare the graphs. Financially, okay, they're doing okay, both of them. Philip Morris is a little bit more expensive, but the dividend is what is the deal breaker for me. So I'm going to say Philip Morris is a better stock. And I right now own Altria. So if you watch my previous video, which I added Altria, take a guess who the next stock I'm going to add is going to be. Philip Morris. So once I get to $10,000, this is my goal. All right, once I get to $10,000, Philip Morris is going to be on my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. So the annual dividend is increased. This is what you want as a dividend investor, an increased dividend, okay? They're both cheap. Honestly, I'm getting both. It's just like if I had an option, if I had $10,000 right now, I would probably do like 7,000 on Pepsi, 3,000 on Coke. For AT&T and Verizon, same thing. So when you compare AT&T and Verizon, they're both very good stocks. I would get both of them. Philip Morris and Altria, both. Okay, they're both good. But overall, Philip Morris is better. I'm going to wait till I get to 25 shares. I'm going to do my 25 share strategy. Once I at least get 25 shares in a lot of my stocks, I'm going to start buying more stocks. But Philip Morris is going to be in my M1 Finance dividend portfolio. That is my next stock. That is my next strategy. I get a nice compounded interest with that. So that's going to be my next stock after Altria. That is almost a guarantee. I was debating if I could put it in my dividend portfolio in E-Trade, but Philip Morris is just, I start putting more money in, these dividends start kicking in. Think about it. If I, with my M1 Finance dividend portfolio, I put a lot of money in my monthly dividend stocks so that I can start getting more, like with QYLD and SPHD and LTC. eventually those guys will increase their dividends. QYLD, I don't know. SPHD, eventually they will, but SPHD has Altria in it. What a surprise. So those monthly dividends are going to be going right towards this. So my long-term goal is to make $1,000 to $3,000 a month on my monthly dividends and $2,000 to $4,000 a month on my quarterly dividends. I want my monthly dividends on my M1 Finance dividend portfolio to pay for stocks like Philip Morris because of its increase in dividend over time. That's what I like. That's what I want. That's going to be my long-term goal, is to have money in stocks like this. Philip Morris isn't really going to grow as much, but the dividend is what I want. Think about it. If I got, let's just say $80 from Philip Morris, and they're kind of stagnant. They're not going up to, they're not growing up to like, $100 a share or anything like that, but they've increased their dividend. So that right there is something that I'm gonna look at. The other thing is I might be getting a sign-on bonus for staying with my employer, $1,000. Uh, that might just go towards Philip Morris, and that's one thing that's on my mind. I'll change my percentage in my dividend portfolio, throw it in Philip Morris, and let the dividends start kicking in. Such an attractive stock. Altria and Philip Morris, phenomenal stocks if you're a dividend investor. This was kind of funny last night. So, I had a tall boy of an IPA, very good one. It was a Hop and Frog one. This guy just came up to me, oh, what do you think of this and that? And I just looked at him. I go, what is your goal? He's like, oh, I'm going to buy all this money in Tesla. I want to build an empire. He was pretty drunk. He was talking out of his ass. And I just looked at him. I said, he goes, well, you seem like you know what you're talking about. I said, well, I'm not a financial advisor, but, I showed him my dividend portfolio. And he's like, well, how did you get that? I said, well, I picked up a lot of shifts. I put money in. I made my money make money. And I made sacrifices. And if you put the time in and the sacrifice, and I look at all your guys, your dividend portfolios and your channels, you've done a phenomenal job at your mission statement, which is to increase, your dividends, earn passive income, and either retire on dividends or find ways to earn passive income. So this guy, he really didn't have the drive. You can just tell. And after I talked to him, he asked me, what is your biggest advice? I said, well, compound interest is the ninth wonder of the world. Just remember that. Albert Einstein said that. And that's the same thing with Philip Morris. Compound interest, it's going to kick in, increasing its dividend. Altria increasing its dividend. So, these stocks, and if you look at my dividend portfolio, it's growing. And it's exciting to see things grow. And over time, it's like you got a better raise putting money in a dividend portfolio than you do at your job, which is kind of funny. And, people at work who I work with, they, some of them don't even want to put money in retirement. And, my goal is a $100,000 dividend portfolio. And these guys are going to, Philip Morris and Altria are definitely going to help me get there. So that's the beauty of compound interest. And you could be like that guy at the bar that I talked to that wants to do something or wants to be someone, or you could be someone like yourself who watches these videos or wants to learn how to earn passive income and put the effort in and to buy stocks like this, so that over time the compound interest pays in, you got passive income. So people will say, well, gambling and stocks, this and that. But when you're a dividend investor, you can lose money and you can probably get something out of it in dividends, even if it's a bond. So that's the beauty of dividend investing and compound interest. So I hope you guys appreciate this video. I know that you guys wanted me to compare both stocks. That's my quick stock and dividend analysis, a little bit of a financial analysis too. But these, I don't own Philip Morris, but that's going to be in my dividend portfolio. I did a little bit of research on them. I concluded, again, I'm not a financial advisor, and even just by walking out at a bar, young kids smoking, they don't give a shit. People don't care. And you know what? One of the biggest investments that you can make in yourself is your health. And people don't want to invest in their health, and people don't want to invest in your retirement. So kudos to you guys who invest in your health and want to better yourselves and invest in your future and the compound interest. You guys are the ones that need to pat yourselves on the back. So them purchasing cigarettes are helping you. So that's, just think about that. So I know it doesn't sound very good to say that, but this is a good company that distributes dividends. So it is what it is. But that's just, people don't care. I mean, it kind of hurts to say that people just don't care. And the future is bright in healthcare because people just don't want to take care of themselves, and prevention's the biggest way to do it. So Philip Morris, Altria, great stocks. I know it's cigarettes and tobacco, but they know what they're doing, and it is what it is. So thank you for watching this video, and have a good one.